With Palantir stock on an absolutely ridiculous tear, up over 50% in the past 5 trading days, with all of that coming in the last 3 trading days. That is absolutely ridiculous. There's a couple warnings, couple things I want to chat through with anyone who's a Palantir shareholder out there real quick in this video. Before we jump into those 2 things, if you're new here, I'm Austin. I'm a co-owner of cloudboostquit.com. I'm also a stock market investor, and definitely most importantly for this video, I'm a Palantir shareholder. I've been a Palantir shareholder since 2021. It's been a great ride, and I've been rewarded very nicely over the last year, and especially the last 3 days as they've reported their Q4 2023 earnings and full year 2023 earnings. The stock has been absolutely soaring, like I said earlier, up over 50% in just 3 trading days. Certainly not an average thing for an average stock that you see in the stock market to be up 50% in 3 days. So it's been really nice. Palantir's been great to me, and I'm looking forward to holding for the next many years. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, help us hit that goal of 3,000 subscribers. I think we could hit that in the next few days here. That's super exciting. Nice little milestone on the channel. Thank you so much for doing that. So the first warning here is that these type of crazy gains are not going to keep on going forever. It's not every day that we're going to open our stock market accounts and see Palantir up another 20%, 8%, 4%, 5%, etc. There's going to be a time where Palantir chills out, and there's going to be a time where Palantir stock price starts to move down again. Let's not freak out and panic when Palantir starts to move down. Palantir could move down 20, 30, 40%, and we would still be up very nicely on even just a 3-day span, on a 1-year span. We'd still be up absolutely massively. If you just bought shares, maybe that's a different story for you. You might be down on those shares in the short term, but if you're someone like myself, I haven't bought a new Palantir share since May 2nd of 2023, and I bought those shares at $7.47. And then I've got all these different buys going all the way back to 2021, but I haven't bought a new share in almost a year now. There's a ton of retail investors just like me that built out their Palantir position, and then once it started to go on this crazy run, we're just along for the ride. We're just happy shareholders watching the story play out. So don't freak out, especially if you're one of those people that has a low cost basis. Whenever the stock starts to drop, like I said, we could drop substantially and we'll still be up very nicely on our shares. It's not time to freak out. Remember, just a few days ago, we were at $16.72. That was literally 3 days ago from recording this video. And now we're about to break the $25 mark, you know what I mean? So we could drop a lot and still be in a really nice position. So don't freak out whenever Palantir starts to drop. Don't start calling it a trash stock. Don't start talking about selling your shares. Just a little bit ago, we were so much lower, and people were really happy to pick up shares at those levels. That's evidenced by the fact that the stock has risen over 50% in 3 days. Obviously, people were happy to pick up shares at the $16 range, 17, 18, 19, 20, etc., all the way up to $25. People are happy to pick up shares. So when the stock starts to drop for whatever reason, whether it's Palantir specific or market specific, it's not time to freak out and panic. Just enjoy these crazy upward days while they last, and don't panic when we start to go down a little bit. So that's warning number 1. Warning number 2 is about analysts and price targets. So there's probably going to be a lot of upgrades because analysts like to just move wherever the stock price moves, you know? Makes them look like a genius. Oh, I'm going to update my price target to 30 because the stock just hit 25. Yeah, whatever. They're just momentum trackers for the most part. That's how I feel about most analysts. But there's going to be some analysts who stay pretty dang bearish, even though there's a lot of things that are going really well for Palantir. They'll keep their sell ratings, they'll keep their underweight ratings, and they'll put these really low price targets still. Morgan Stanley's probably going to keep a really low price target for quite a while on Palantir. Many other firms are going to keep really low price targets on Palantir. And then some analysts and some firms will upgrade the stock, but they'll keep their price target below where the current price of the stock is in the moment. These things can make the stock price move down. Does that mean that the stock is actually a sell just because one analyst says it's a sell? No. Does that mean the stock is a buy just because one analyst says it's a buy? No. I personally don't put much stock into analysts' opinion. I look at it, I realize what happened, I check and see if they have valid concerns. If I feel like their concerns are valid and they have a downgrade, I'll look into it. If I feel like their positives are valid and they talk about good things with the stock and they upgraded it, I'll look into it. Regardless, no matter what, I'm not selling a stock because an analyst downgrades it. I'm not buying a stock because an analyst upgrades it. I really don't have a lot of love for the analyst community, but sometimes in their notes, they can have interesting points to the negative or to the positive side, to the bearish side or to the bullish side. That's the only thing I use analysts for. But very similar advice to the first one, if we move up in a major way because an analyst has a huge upgrade, or if we move down in a major way because the analyst has a huge downgrade, It's not time to freak out. The fundamentals of Palantir are not changed a single bit at all by an analyst having an opinion on the stock. The fundamentals of Palantir are what we need to value the stock on. If you believe this stock is going to keep on reaccelerating revenue growth, keep posting quarter after quarter after quarter of EPS growth, if you believe this stock is set to join the S&P 500 and you think they're going to become the biggest AI player in the entire world, you got to own the stock, right? An analyst can't be the reason that you own the stock. Some guy on YouTube like me can't be the reason you own the stock. You got to own the stock because you believe in the story of the company, and even more important than that, you believe in the fundamentals and the valuation of the company in this moment right now. And speaking of valuation, a lot of people ask me, if you love the company so much, why don't you buy more of the stock? Because I bought so much of the stock whenever it was at those depressed levels, it became an extremely large portion of my portfolio. For a good amount of time, it was my number one position. Now it's somewhere between number 1 and number 3. After this move, it's probably closer to number 1 or 2, but it's a really big position for me. I'm definitely overweight Palantir. I'm happy with my allocation. I'm not looking to pick up new shares for a couple reasons. One, the valuation was so much more attractive at the $6 and $7 range, obviously, than it is at the $25 range. Do I think it's disgustingly overvalued right now? No, but I do think it's overvalued for me to pick up new shares given the fact that I'm already overweight on the stock. I'm not the kind of person that goes all in on 1 or 2 stocks. I'm not the kind of person that puts 50% of my portfolio in a particular stock, but it is a really, really heavy weight in my portfolio. I'm not looking to buy new shares, especially at this $25 range. For now, I am a holder for quite a while. Will I pick up new shares eventually? Maybe. I'm not sure. If the story changes in any kind of meaningful way and I really, really start to feel happy and excited about the valuation again, then I'll be picking up new shares. But if I had to bet on it, we're going to be up and away with Palantir, and I'm probably going to be a holder. I'm just going to be along for the ride for quite a long time, many, many, many years that I'm going to be holding this stock. I'm really excited to see how the story plays out. Even though I'm not buying new shares, I'm keeping up with this company on a daily basis. It's one of my most exciting stocks that I hold in my portfolio. It's one of the stocks I'm most happy to hold. Like I said, I'm a holder for many, many years to go in the future. Have no plans of even selling a single share. Hope you enjoyed that, me sharing my perspective on my position with Palantir and those 2 warnings I gave at the beginning of the video. Hope you enjoyed that in a major way. I want to know what you're doing with Palantir. Are you just a holder? Are you still buying? Are you looking to get out of Palantir? Are you doing any options plays around Palantir? I want to hear about it. Let me know in the comments. Definitely one of my favorite parts of posting here on YouTube is responding to you guys down there in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing day.